I've made over 4,600 casts with this exact rod, and in this video I will show you why the SGS2 might not be for you. Have you ever sat in front of the computer comparing rods for what feels like hours with 10, 20 or even 30 tabs open at the same time, not knowing where to start? One of the reasons why we do this is because we don't want to end up with something that makes us feel like we made a bad decision. When we start our short jigging journey, it is easy to feel overwhelmed by all the choices out there, with all the different rods, reels, lines, abundance of gear, and not to mention all the different type of jigs. If you're new to short jigging, or you're looking for a medium rod that won't ruin you financially, then this guide can help you in your search. The Savage Gear SGS2 is one of the most affordable rod series when it comes to saltwater fishing and short jigging, with a price just above $100. You might be screaming at me through the screen right now saying,
Dan, for short jigging, you need a rod that costs at least $800, you fat.
But please, I urge you, instead of saying this out loud to yourself, write it in the comments so I get more engagement on this video. Thank you. As I said in the beginning, this rod has hammered out jigs for over 4,500 times and has caught hundreds of fish, big and small. With a length of 290 centimeters or 9 foot 6 inches, this SGS2 has a very comfortable length, which makes casting an easy task if you, like me, many times have the cliffs towering up behind you. The blank is made from Toray carbon, which is a popular type of carbon manufactured in Japan and used in many different industries. And it is coincidentally the same type of carbon that is used in the Savage Gear SGS6, which is the more high-end. When it comes to action, the SGS2, 20 to 80 grams, to me has the ultimate casting action as its moderate fast action. Even though it's a lighter rod, I consistently make casts up to 110 meters or 120 yards paired with a 6,000 spheros. And as a bonus later, I'll show you exactly how you can achieve these longer casts with this rod by yourself and without getting tired or exhausted after a full day's fishing.
But what about jigs, Dan? Is SGS2 a true 20 to 80 gram rod?
The short answer is no. The long answer is also no. This is mostly due to the jig animation you will create, or rather not create, if you use jigs around 80 grams. And to animate a jig at its full potential, I found it optimal to stay in the range of about 40 to 60 gram jigs. That has been working perfectly for me, and believe me, you will get results. One of the major benefits I found with this rod is that your hookup ratio is staggeringly high, and losing fish to, as an example, the hook popping out or giving slackline is very, very rare. So when you're fighting a fish, you will have a lot of margin for error, which you will not have if you are using a very fast action rod, for example. And it has Sea Guide Gunsmoke saltwater guides if anyone is interested. All I can say is no problems have I ever had with them, and there is no rust on them, which I have had the problem on, for example, Fuji guides. So it's been working great. So how do you get the full casting potential out of this rod? The easy answer is with a pendulum cast. Doesn't have to be one of those major pendulum casts where the lead is laying on the floor, you have to swing it 6,000 yards in the air. Just let it go halfway down the blank, rock it until you can feel the weight of the jig coming back and forth. When it's at the peak in the back, follow through and no effort at all, sails to the moon. And you never get tired by doing that. It looks a bit goofy, but your casts will go to the moon.
Damn, I'm only hearing positive things about this rod. But you said this rod might not be for me.
Okay, so here it is. During the hundreds of sessions that I've used this rod, on occasion, there will be a giant who comes by and looks at your jig and says, "Dinner is served." And one time in particular, a gigantus amberjackus took my 60-gram slim jig like a steam train. Straight away, he started shaking his head side to side with big lunges before going on a few runs. And I had no other option to almost lock the drag. And when this massive amberjack started getting ready to make another run, I bent the rod to its breaking point, and which to my surprise managed to stop the beast. But shortly after this, he went straight into the rocks under me. I did not have enough power in this rod to force him up fast enough through the water column to get him out of danger, and he cut me off. So that's what I'm getting to, is that if you want to target larger fish, the SGS2 20 to 80 grams is not for you. There are much better options out there in case you want to go for trophy fish and target the big ones. But if you want to have a great time catching fish of around 2 to 3 kilos, about 4 to 6 pounds, and you only want to spend around $100 for a rod, then for sure this is the rod for you. It is really a good rod for the money that you pay for it. I've also made a short jigging guide that is completely free to read. It's linked down in the comments and in the description if you want to read it. And if you want to see this rod in action fighting a big amberjack, you can watch this video right here.